To-do list for the Government of Canada in 2025. Strengthen post-pandemic economic recovery efforts. Support small and medium-sized businesses through grants and loans. Advance innovation in clean energy and technology sectors. Develop incentives for manufacturing and job creation in rural and underserved areas. Implement aggressive measures to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. Expand renewable energy projects like wind, solar, and hydroelectric power. Strengthen laws to reduce plastic waste and improve recycling programs. Enhance climate adaptation strategies for flood, fire, and drought resilience. Address healthcare worker shortages through recruitment and retention programs. Expand mental health and addiction services. Implement pharmacare to ensure access to essential medications. Modernize healthcare infrastructure and digital records management. Accelerate affordable housing initiatives under the National Housing Strategy. Introduce measures to curb real estate speculation and housing costs. Provide incentives for building sustainable and energy-efficient homes. Fulfill all Truth and Reconciliation Commission calls to action. Invest in clean drinking water systems for Indigenous communities. Support Indigenous-led economic development projects. Preserve and promote Indigenous languages and cultures. Enhance funding for post-secondary education and reduce student debt. Expand access to vocational training and apprenticeships. Promote STEM education, particularly for underrepresented groups. Improve cybersecurity measures to protect critical infrastructure. Expand broadband internet access to rural and remote areas. Promote digital literacy and innovation in public services. Strengthen measures to combat cyber threats and misinformation. Address firearm-related violence with stricter gun control measures. Increase funding for disaster preparedness and emergency response. Streamline immigration processes to reduce backlogs. Increase pathways for skilled labor immigration to address workforce gaps. Enhance support for refugee resettlement and integration. Strengthen relationships with key allies like the US, EU, and Indo-Pacific nations. Advocate for global climate change action at international forums. Increase humanitarian aid for conflict zones and climate-affected regions. Invest in public transit and green transportation initiatives. Modernize airports, ports, and rail networks. Accelerate the adoption of electric vehicles and build charging infrastructure. Ensure fair tax policies for corporations and high-income earners. Crack down on tax evasion and offshore tax havens. Evaluate and adjust Gulf Standard Time / Hawaii Standard Time to reflect economic changes. Strengthen measures to address systemic racism and discrimination. Expand programs to support women, youth, and LGBTQ+ communities. Provide enhanced support for seniors and persons with disabilities. Increase funding for Canadian arts, culture, and heritage initiatives. Promote bilingualism and multilingualism across the country. Protect historic sites and promote tourism. This to-do list reflects broad objectives to ensure a sustainable, equitable, and prosperous future for Canadians in 2025 and beyond.